2, 1, action.
Rapid shot.
Why play games in crummy 2D when you can put on a pair of ridiculous glasses and play them in 3D? Bugs crawl through the screen, mummies reach into your living room, sharks bite you in the balls. It's Attack of the Movies 3D. Released for the Nintendo Wii in 2010, Attack of the Movies 3D is an on-rails, arcade-styled shooter, one of the roughly 378,000 that have been made for the Wii. But what makes this one stand out is that it's a parody. Or at least it tries to be. Attack of the Movies 3D takes you through 6 environments typical of B-movie horror. Giant insects attack, the pharaoh awakens, you get the idea. But in what's at least an attempt to really take the 1950s theme over the top, the game also uses a deliberately cheap 3D effect. The same red and blue ploy the movie business used to draw audiences 60 years ago. Imagine that, Hollywood using a 3D gimmick to drive lagging sales. Boy, things have really changed since then. The problem is that, even with the included pairs of plastic red and blue 3D glasses, Attack of the Movies 3D just doesn't capitalize on its theme the way that it could have. By playing up the campiness and adding some appropriately cheesy presentational flair, this game really could have been a humorous parody of the era.
Rapid shot. First aid.
But as it stands, it's just a crummy game loosely based on the era. That sort of good enough is good enough approach is evident across the board in Attack of the Movies 3D, including in its gameplay. This is very much a standard, vanilla arcade shooter, doing nothing to stand out from the sizable light gun pack on Wii. In fact, if anything, it stands out for how thin it feels. There are only 2 weapon upgrades to pick up, for example, and the 6 levels only last between 5 and 7 minutes. Basically, the whole thing is over in about an hour, and since there's so little to the package, you have almost no reason to go back and replay it. Fortunately, Attack of the Movies 3D does include multiplayer support for up to 4 players, but aside from the bare minimum of pointing at the screen and pulling the Wii Remote's trigger, that's about the only functionality the game does include. The rise of pointer-based and motion controls across the industry means good things for this specific genre. It's enjoyed a bit of a renaissance on home consoles thanks to the Wii, and the future looks even brighter. But in that light, this game is destined to be forgotten as quickly as it's over, and that's a real shame. I love the concept, I love the gimmicky 3D effect, it's just that the game doesn't seem to love them as much as I do. With a little more embracing of the theme, a little more presentational panache, and maybe a little gameplay depth, this one might have been a winner, but unfortunately, Attack of the Movies 3D falls 2D flat.
Rapid shot.